You know that ancient proverb, perfect casting is perfect? Yeah, I think it applies. Hi everybody, Carla here. So here's the thing. Initially I thought I would talk a little bit about all the BS that's happening in the Star Wars fandom, particularly this week since news came out that actress Kelly Marie Tran, who plays Rose Tico on The Last Jedi, actually got harassed so bad online that she went and deleted every single picture of her Instagram because the harassment got so bad. I wanted to talk about that because it's very important to me. I feel very strongly about it. Kelly Marie Tran is... I'm always happy to follow the casts of my favorite fandoms, and I'm always happy when they seem to be fans as well. Kelly Marie Tran was very much the exemplification of that feeling. That woman is like the purest person you will ever meet. Like, she was so excited to be in a Star Wars movie. She's a fan. She couldn't deal, like, every time someone ran into her and asked for a picture, she would like freak out because it was so surreal to her that she was actually famous. And it's just the sweetest thing you will ever see. I never got tired of watching those videos during promotion for The Last Jedi because it made me feel so happy that she felt so happy to be a part of something that I love and that she loves too. And I think she's just the purest human being on the planet. I adore her, and it really, really pissed me, and I'm not going to contain myself from swearing here. It pissed me the fuck off that people actually were that mean to her, to the point that she had to step back from her online presence because of the harassment. It's ridiculous. And I was going to talk about that in this video, but then I realized it would probably just devolve into a 15-minute rant about assholes on the internet being assholes. And it wouldn't be good for my health. It would do nothing for me, because those people, you can't change their minds. They're racist, they're misogynists, they're just awful people, and that's who they are. No matter how much I rant about this, it's not going to change anyone's mind. So I decided I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about a different topic this week. But I just want to say up top for the record, you people, if you participated in this awful harassment, and if you're participating not just in this one particular scenario, but if you're participating in this toxic, awful, gunky culture that we've come to in fandom, not just in Star Wars, but every fandom is like this. And I know I've been in fandoms for decades. I know that this is just the way things get, and it was probably Star Wars' turn to do this dance, but it's an awful dance and we should never be doing it. And if you are someone who contributed to any of that negativity and hate and just disgusting nature, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're an awful person, and just stay as far away from me as possible, because I don't care what people tell me in the comments. It's wrong to harass anybody. You have the right to not like anything. That's okay. You have problems with the movie, that's fine. You feel Rian Johnson ruined your childhood, that's fine. It's your prerogative to feel that way. I am the type of person who likes to like things, okay? And I feel very strongly that the people who don't like something should not bring down those of us who do. It's not our problem that you don't like what we like, okay? So if you're part of that culture, you need to examine your life. And in fact, you need to get a life, because that's... Look, I don't have a life because I'm a nerd and I spend the entire time on the internet thinking about my fandoms. But at least I'm good about it. If you spend all your time in the internet spewing hate and just looking for someone to troll because it makes you feel superior, there is something wrong with you. Okay, so I just want to put that out there in the universe that it is not okay. Kelly Marie Tran is an angel and she deserves nothing but love and support from us fans as a person. So check yourself, just take notice of the fact that you're being an asshole, and that is something that can't change. I might change my opinion about Star Wars at some point. At this moment, I've loved all the movies they put out, at least in the Disney era. I may change my opinion about that in the future, but you can't change the fact that you're an asshole. Okay? So just think about that and stay the hell away from me, because I don't need that in my life. I've been blessed that the people in my social media and the people in my life, even though they didn't, not all of them like The Last Jedi, not all of them like, no matter what happens with that, I know they're decent people and they won't drag me down with their negativity, and they recognize that if I love something, that's my prerogative, just like I recognize that they didn't like something and that's their prerogative, and that's fine. We can be friends, but don't be a fucking asshole. Okay? So that's all I want to say on the topic, because I can just feel my blood starting to boil. Alright, it annoys me so much that this had to happen, and Star Wars was doing so good, man. We were doing so well, and then we had to fall down that trap, just like every other fandom out there. I wonder if it's just human nature sometimes, that all fandoms have to come with a side of ugliness at one point in their lives. I remember stepping completely away from the Harry Potter fandom precisely because of that, because it had gotten so toxic. It has happened with a lot of fandoms in my time. So I understand, and I wonder if it's just something that we have to accept. And then I decide that no, I'm not accepting it. So take that into consideration whenever you comment on anything online. Don't be an asshole. Anyway, after I got that out of my system, today I want to talk about the It Chapter 2 casting, because we finally have the entirety of the Losers Club has been cast, and it looks amazing, and I'm just really excited. It was one of my favorite movies of last year. I loved that movie. If you know me, you know that I love movies about groups of kids or teens or young adults who are sort of coming of age and making their way in the world and realizing who they are as people and who they are as friends. Those are my favorite things in the world. I'm sure if you go back to some of my previous videos, I just did Digimon last week, so yeah, I'm pretty sure you can see how that happens. How many Stranger Things videos have I made? Like, it's a thing. For me, it's kind of my weakness. And even though I don't like horror, I don't go to the movies to watch horror, ever. The only reason I went to see it was because one, Finn Wolfhard was in it, and I love him. He's one of my pictures, and I just adore him to death. And two, because the trailers convinced me that this was going to be just as much about friendship as it was going to be about horror, you know? Sure, maniacal clown killing people. Also, I'm not afraid of clowns, so that helps. But maniacal clown killing people, but also friendship. Yay! It was a winning combination as far as I'm concerned, and I really, really loved it. And I have some trepidation about Chapter 2 because the kids will be grown up, and I don't know how I'm going to feel once the kids have grown up and it's like an actual full-fledged horror movie again with people that I don't really care as much about. But I am hoping that because I learned to care about these kids in the first movie, that I'm still going to feel for them in the second movie, despite the fact they're all grown up and not cute anymore. Anyway, I've been looking forward to the casting for a long time, and it was actually getting kind of urgent because this movie comes out next year in August. So we're nearly at the 1 year mark, and they had just started releasing casting notices. And I was starting to get worried, but now we have all the Losers Club already cast, and I really, really think it's a good cast. So I want to talk about all of them a little bit. It will probably be a short video because that's literally all I'm going to talk about, but I really love this cast, and I wanted to take a second to just talk about each one of them and why I'm excited to see them on screen. Before I do that though, I just have to mention, the thing that I love the most about this cast is how freaking much they actually look like their child counterparts. It's amazing. I mean, put a side by side of each of them, and you will see that there are some features that really do stand out in both of them. And I didn't think that was possible. So, like, I'm actually kind of really surprised / freaked out by the fact that they actually managed to find people who look like grown-up versions of these kids. That is so difficult to do, guys. Like, you wouldn't even understand how many Hollywood movies I've seen where I'm just like, yeah, that looks nothing like the kid. Or whenever they cast someone to play the younger version of an adult that we already know, and I'm like, yeah, he looks nothing like the grown-up. So that was the first thing for me when I saw some of the outlets had actually like banner versions of the whole adult cast, and then like below or on the side they would have versions of the younger cast, and it's really remarkable how much they actually look like each other. I'm kind of shocked, honestly, and a bit freaked out because I didn't know that such a thing was possible. I don't know what kind of like voodoo Andy Muschietti is going with in this casting process, but it's working. So yeah, let's start with the beginning, and this is of course Jessica Chastain is going to play Bev. And I think when this casting was finally announced, everybody was just like, yep, that's it, that's perfectly it, because everybody's main sort of fan cast for Bev was Jessica Chastain. And it's kind of funny because you would say like, oh, so why Chastain? Because she's a redhead and she can act? No, it's because she actually looks like Bev a lot. She has a relationship with Muschietti from a previous movie, and she's just such a great actress. Jessica Chastain is at the top of her game right now in Hollywood. And given, I don't know much about what happens to Bev in It Chapter 2. I haven't read the book. Like I said, I'm not a horror person, so I don't think I've ever read any Stephen King. But from what I have heard happens to her in this movie, you need a heck of an actress to play that. So Jessica Chastain was pretty much a no-brainer, and I'm really, really glad that for once, not just that the people who were fan casting were right, but for once the studio and the director and the producers actually agreed with the fan casting, which was great. Another example where the fan casting got it right was, of course, Bill Hader as an adult version of Richie, which is kind of funny because somebody asked Finn Wolfhard at the point during promotion for the first movie who he would like to see play himself as a grown-up. And he said Bill Hader. And everybody was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And again, the directors and the producers and the powers that be just went ahead and said, yeah, we do think it makes sense too, so let's go for Hader. And I like it because, again, Bill Hader is just an amazing actor. He's so great. He's so funny, but he can also do drama. He has done it in the past, and he's really good at it, actually. So I'm happy to see that they actually understand where their character is going and who they're going to need in order to portray that on screen. And Bill Hader and Richie just they look a lot alike too. So I'm just really stunned that both times the fan casting actually worked. Now, the third person was not so much brought up through fan casting, but I think we are at a point where when it was revealed that this person was going to play this character, everybody just sort of for a second went, what? And then we all went, oh, okay, because it's James McAvoy playing Bill. And Yeah, it really does work in my head. I mean, McAvoy, you know that I love him. He's Professor Xavier. I adore James McAvoy. He's such a good actor. He has done everything. I mean, he's already done horror with Split, which I didn't see, but I heard so many great reviews of it. And he's done drama, he's done superheroes with X-Men, he's done blockbusters, he's done action, and he's so... He just has such a range, and I truly do believe that while he might not be like the greatest celebrity out there, he's actually one of the greatest actors of his generation, and I am beyond overjoyed that he's playing Bill. And he actually looks a lot like Jaden Muir, so yeah, that's gonna be one to see. I wish he had been a little bit taller though, because Jaden was around the tallest of the crew, but whatever, you know, it's just size. It's like Wolverine. He's not supposed to be tall, he's supposed to be short, but Hugh Jackman was still the best Wolverine we could ever have gotten regardless of size. So I'm totally okay with McAvoy coming into this franchise. I can tell he's going to knock it out of the park. And you know from these 3 castings then that these are the 3 characters that they're sort of going to focus on. It is, of course, an ensemble piece, but it was always Bill and Richie and Bev that sort of stood out. Maybe Ben a little bit, and the others faded a little bit into the background, but they always took the time to at least give us a little bit of each of them. And I have no doubt that Muschietti is going to do the same thing in the second part. But you do see from this casting that they went for 3 A-list actors for Bev, for Richie, and for Bill. So you can kind of get the idea of where they want to put their focus on, and I think that's really interesting. Apart from those 3 though, we got more casting announcements a bit later on, and actually kind of together. We heard that Jay Ryan is going to play an adult Ben, and we all know that adult Ben had to be like really hot, right? That's like the only thing I know about the sequel. The best known thing about chapter 2 is that Ben grows up to be a hottie. So Jay Ryan fits that bill, I guess. I don't know him from anywhere. I hear he was the main character in Beauty and the Beast with like Kristen Crick, and I don't really know what that show was about. I never watched it. I never cared to watch it. But he was the lead, so he can't have been like bad, right? It ran for a few seasons, I believe. So I'm happy to hear that he's getting a shot at movies now, and big time movies now. And you know, he actually does look a lot like young Ben. So like I mean, his features are more chiseled, obviously, but you can see a little bit of a resemblance there. The eyes, especially for me, and the nose and the mouth. I really find it very interesting that they went this way, because I don't know, I would have thought somehow that Ben would be a bigger part of the sequel. I'm not entirely sure. Please don't spoil it for me. But I guess this means that he's not as big as the other 3. But I like it. I like the casting, and I think I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with this performance. Apart from that, there was James Ransone, who is going to play adult Eddie. I don't know anything about him. I hear he was in the Sinister movies, but I don't know. I never saw those movies. I'm never going to see those movies. So I really have no comparison for him in terms of performance. But I would assume that Eddie's not a big part either in the movie, so it makes sense. And he really does look a lot like young Eddie. Oh my god, like I'm sorry, it really creeps me out how much they look like the kids. It's kind of amazing. And then we have Andy Bean playing adult Stan. I have zero idea who Andy Bean is. I've never ever heard of him before, so I'm, you know, if it's going to be proportional and he's gonna get as much time as young Stanley got, then yeah, he doesn't need to be that great. So I'm just, yeah, I'll wait. He does look like Stan too, so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with the character and how much of the limelight he actually does get. Last but not least, though, they just announced a couple of days ago that Isaiah Mustafa is going to play adult Mike, which kind of blew my mind because I do know Isaiah Mustafa. He is Luke in the Shadowhunters TV show, which is one of my favorite shows, and he's great as Luke. I mean, you might know him as the Old Spice guy, maybe from the commercials. I've seen the commercials, he's good in the commercials, but he's better as Luke, so I'm happy. I love it when my fandoms collide like this. Like, I already had X-Men, now I'm having Shadowhunters. I think it's really great when my favorite fandoms collide like that. I was not expecting that. I was somehow thinking that they would go for someone with a bigger profile. Like, I don't know why. Because I have no idea what happens to Mike in the sequel. So, I don't know. But I'm really glad Isaiah is getting this stepping stone because he's good. He's a good actor. He's serviceable. And he does really well moments of like affection and friendship with people. I think I've seen that from him in Shadowhunters. He's also really good at action too. So yeah, I think he looks like Mike. He does fit sort of the mental image I had of a grown-up Mike, and I'm really happy for them. I mean, can I just take a second to like roll through all the pictures of the younger and adult versions, because it really scares the crap out of me that they look so much like the kids that they're portraying. It's amazing. And I'm really excited. I'm gonna keep this short, so I'm just gonna say I'm really excited about the cast. I would assume they said that filming would start in the summer, so maybe June or July. We're really close to seeing the filming for this movie, and I can't wait to see it. It's about a year still until it premieres, and of course we have Bill Skarsgård coming back. I can't wait to see this. I'm really excited now. I was a little hesitant before because I wasn't sure that I was going to love the adults as much as I love the kids. I'm not hesitant anymore. I'm really all in. I'm going to go watch this movie no matter how many nightmares it's going to give me. Although, you know, if Pennywise stays a clown, that's okay. I'm not afraid of clowns. Anyway, I'm really going to see this movie. I'm going to cheer for it. I'm so happy that the big three and Isaiah are in this. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I'm really excited. I love that the people who were fan casting actually got some right. That almost never happens. So yeah, I'm really excited for this movie now, and I can't wait to see what they do with it and where Muschietti takes it. I trust him. It's a daunting movie to adapt, a daunting book to adapt into a movie, but Muschietti did so well with Chapter 1. I'm going to love this movie forever. I have it on DVD. I rewatch it, which is something I never thought I'd be able to do with a horror movie ever. But it's not that much of a horror, at least for me, because I'm not afraid of clowns. But it really does speak to the friendship of this group of kids, and that is my Achilles heel. Has always been, will always be. I adored this movie. It was great. I can't wait to see what they do with Chapter 2. And let's hope we start getting some stuff from them now that they're going to start filming soon. Maybe in the future. I can't wait. So yeah, that's about as much as I wanted to say this week. It's not a long video, but I just wanted to take a moment to talk about something that I like, something that makes me excited, so I can get kind of assholes on the internet being assholes and just ruining one of the most precious things we have in the world, apart from Kelly, just Star Wars in general. So I wanted to talk about something that would make me happy, and this cast makes me happy. It really does feel like the perfect cast, and I can't wait to see this movie. So yeah, that's about it from me today. If you have any suggestions for topics that you'd like me to talk about, for example, anything geeky, books, movies, TV shows, any sort of thing like that, just go in the comments, drop it there, and if it's anything that I have any knowledge of, if it's anything that I know, I will make sure to add it to my list of videos to make in the future. In the meantime, you can find me on social media. I am on Twitter and Instagram at girlsareweird with underscores between the words, and I am on Tumblr at girlsareweird with hyphens between the words. You can find a Facebook page for this vlog at facebook.com/FreakingNarnia, and as usual, you can visit my main website at FreakingNarnia.com. All my videos up there, so in case you missed anything and want to catch up, just go there. It'll be up in there. I do have a Rebel store. It's currently down because under review from Redbubble for some stupid reason. They suspended the account, but we'll see where that goes. I'm already talking to them and hoping, that it will go through the review and hopefully get it back on soon enough. But in the meantime, remember that I do have this vlog also as a podcast. So look up Talks from Freaking Narnia in any of your podcast distribution platforms, and it should be there. I have about 30 episodes already uploaded, more coming in the future. And remember, if you want to get these podcasts out as soon as the video goes up on YouTube every week, you can become a patron at patreon.com/FreakingNarnia. If you just give $1 a month, you will be able to access these podcasts on the exact same day they go up on YouTube as a vlog. So keep that in mind. And that's about it from me today. I will see you guys next week with another video from all the way in freaking Narnia. Beep beep Richie. Yeah, I think it's, and stay as far away from me as possibly. I have some trepidation about season 2 because Jaden was about around the same. In any of your